Okay, guys, so you see the title, you know, just wanted to kind of hit on the reasons for, my fasting regimen and what it looks like and why. So, the task at hand, guys, is obesity. So, with obesity, you know, you're carrying a lot of weight. So, with that all that weight that's on you, it does things to your body that and also the age. But I can only describe, or you can see, based on movements and walking and those types of things. So, you know, somebody might look at this and say, well, that's kind of drastic. And I would say to you, do your research, guys. There's a there's a famous guy out here. I don't know his name offhand, but he's a doctor, and I sort of adhere to some of the things that he has said, and I was introduced to him by my brother. Shout out to you, by the way. And uh, he introduced me to this doctor. He's easily to find, guys. Just Google fasting for health or that type of things, and you'll come across him. Um, but you know, one of the things he talked about was, you know, other cultures being cultures who fast on a daily, yearly, monthly basis. And, he made a lot of sense with that. He says the people who fast, they fast all the time. So it's ridiculous to think that fasting is something that is, I'm not a doctor, he is, but I'm not using his information, to really push any levels. But it's like you said, I don't. He's this is his words, sort of saying, I don't, you know, with those people in different cultures fasting the way they do, and successfully, and have done it for for, for years and years and years and years through time, that there must be something to that you're okay, fasting. So, however you look at it, so a lot of people may think of it as crazy, as a fad. I don't see it as that. I see it as a method and a means to help me to get beyond this obesity. So, with the 36s, which was introduced to me, also by my brother, and shout out to him and his journey. That you know you may do the longer fast, and I do. You may do shorter fasts, and I do. But try the alternate day fasting and see how it works for you. And so it's been working for me, pretty good. I'm not feeling anything uh, in terms of starvation. I don't, it hasn't harmed me in any kind of a way, and it's working. So I'm not advocating that you go do this. I'm just saying, that what works for me. So because this is working for me, I'm going to continue it on, and we'll see the results, and we'll monitor it as we go. So if guys are here for the first time on my channel, and if you haven't watched any of my videos, then you'll know that, I am not somebody who is just trying to get on a fast weight loss kick. I don't have anything against it. And I've tried that before, you know. Uh, Mastering fitness is mastering health, is mastering my eating, is mastering something that I haven't been able to do in all the 58 years that I've been on this earth. And I haven't always been obese. Uh, that's not the case. But um, you know, with the changes that I'm trying to get myself to now at this age, because my health is warranted and other health issues have made it so. Uh, I am applying the things that I've learned throughout my lifetime on these types of journeys, and also my knowledge of understanding what didn't work for me. Now I'm focused on what is working for me, adapting to that, and also using that and trying to get that to become a life change course. So, I've adapted and adopted fasting. So, whether it is water fasting or juice smoothie fasting or uh, not calorie counting, but putting myself in calorie deficits based on the types of things that I eat and put into my body, and I'm more, on the vegetable type based diet. So veggie based, um, plant based type focus. And so, it has my body doing things and feeling things that I haven't felt in quite some time. Meaning, as you can see, I'm able to exercise. If you watch my videos, I'm able to move a lot better. The color of my skin is back. That means the blood is flowing, and the pain has lessened. So, call it crazy if you want to. This has been my focus, and it's been working for me. So I'm going to continue that route because it's doing things for me that it's been a long time that I've been able to do some of the things that I've been doing. So, there you have it. So that's the 36s, guys. That's the intermittent fasting, which was when I was introduced to intermittent fasting. I was introduced to that by my nephew. I knew about it. Hadn't really focused on trying it in the ways that he was talking about it. So here was a young guy who is he's like 24 at the time, I believe, and he weighs about $150. And I talked to him, and he calls me Unc. He says, Unc, I'm looking at your weight, and I'm going to introduce you to something because I need for you to be healthy. I need for you to be around. And so when he told me that, and we had this discussion about it, he showed me, so here's a guy who's, like I said, he's a skinny guy, but he says, I want to show you something. So he took his shirt off, and he was ripped. And so he was saying that, this is what intermittent fasting has done for me. But, note that he's a younger guy. But it was a method in which he was really just focused on. And so I promised him, that I would try it. And I've been doing it ever since. But I would say I hadn't done it religiously before now. I focused on it, and I got on it, and I saw some of the weight go down. With some of my fasting and stuff, I did this once before. I was at a height of, I can't remember, but I know it was 350, maybe 352. And you guys know where I'm at, based on my start now, but it's 350, 347, something like that. um, that amount of weight, and I dropped, and I had dropped, and I had got down to like 326, I believe, and then I stopped doing it, and because I stopped doing it, the weight came back, and so you know that was something that I paid for in the long run. So it's been a lot of time. It's been time passed. So in search of or knowledge of what works and what didn't work during that time, and what I'm doing now, my focus has changed, and I've started adding to. So, you know, there's a lot to fasting intermittently, and also um, these other types of fasts that you do. And then also too, guys, I intermix the meditation in for myself, keep my peace of mind during this time. Um, but I say that because there's a lot of people who do the fasting who, who knows or would say to you, you don't have to exercise, and as far as meditation, that's a personal choice. Um, just like anything else. So because reason why, if you do a straight fast, guys, and I'm talking about now, I've done long fasts and longer fast, just about as long as I did 120. I did 129-day actual juice smoothie fasting, where I didn't eat anything solid. It was based on juice smoothies, water, and broth. Basically, that's how I sustained, and some coffee, and the weight. That was during the time that I was doing right after I did the intermittent fasting. I did a straight fast that got me about 120. I want to say 129 days in the fasting, and I lost weight there too. But because I didn't do anything to change my mind based on, um, what it would look like going forward, what my expectations were, and what my desires and my goals were set for it, then it crept back into my weight eating, the way I eat, what would put the pounds on me, and so when you do that, then you kind of lose all sense of direction. You don't really think about the stuff that is healthy, and it was right about around this time too, guys. It was during a time where holidays are coming or were there, and I just didn't resist. So I went on, and I got back to my eating ways. Not going to do it this time. So I know that for certain. And that's another video coming. Hopefully, we want to talk about self-esteem and your confidence, and how that plays a role in how you move forward. But with the 36-hour fasting and all the fasting that I'm doing, I am doing what it feels good for me. So I kind of veered off, but so if you do like a juice fast, guys, like long-term juice fasting, or any type of juice fasting, even there's pure juice fasting you can do. I do the juice smoothie fasting because of economically it's cost effective for me. Man, I wish I had an unlimited source of money, and also an unlimited source of resource of fruit and vegetables and those types of things that they do add up after a while, especially in this day and time. Um, you know, the economy right now. But I have a juicer that was given to me by my sister, She didn't use it much, and she decided not to use it anymore and gave it to me. So that's a Breville juicer, but that was juice, pure juicer. So I just couldn't keep up with the economics of that. So, I was throwing away the pulp, and I said, well, let's look into, the other part of this, which is juice smoothie. And I started doing different recipes for that, and eventually that started to work for me. But the reason why I'm telling you about this is because if I was on a pure juice smoothie fasting, so it's just like being on a water fast, water fasting too, but that's hard for me to sustain for long periods of time. I did it for almost 80 days. I did that with bone broth and all that kind of stuff. And, I did lose a good deal of weight. But for me, it's still all the stuff that I didn't flush out in terms of my mental being and the things that I needed to reform to. The weight came back. So that's why we're on a slow burn, guys. We're gonna fix this thing 1 pound at a time, and we're gonna go with the ebbs and flows and ups and downs. I'm not gonna tell you it hasn't been a rocky road for me, especially in the beginning. Now, not so much so, but back then, when I first started, the cravings and things like that, and not far, because I've done this before, the changes weren't that bad for me. So, I couldn't get rid of the stuff that I was eating, hamburgers and the fries and all that. That wasn't too hard for me, because I've been here. So, but where I'm at right now, it's a lifelong type of commitment, and my brain is trying to focus on how does it look when I'm not focused on fasting in such an intense way. And so the reason why I'm talking to you now is because the fasting for me and the intensity of it has to do with all the weight that I have to lose. Not on a quick level, but on a long-term level, however I hit it. So whether I lose 20 pounds or 5 pounds, it's the same. If I lose, 5 pounds here and 5 pounds there, if I drop 20 pounds in a stretch, or if I don't lose any weight at all, but I still am focused on the understanding of the health, then that is what's driving me. And so the health is driving me to understand that that's the lifelong thing that I gotta focus on. It's not even the fasting. It's not the exercise. But I am definitely happy that that's a component for me, because if I wasn't doing the exercise, I wasn't taking time to do the exercise, guys, I would be more sedentary, and being sedentary is not a very good thing. So movement is what's better. So it's like I said to you, for me, that looks like getting back to a martial arts and a martial fitness type regimen that I really love to do. That's what makes me happy. So anchor to, I call them anchors. I'm anchoring to that. Some people anchor to walking dogs. Some people anchor to running. Some people anchor to walking. Some people find other sports that they used to do and have done. So, I would say find whatever that is and move towards it. So can't do it the way I used to do it. Not right now. The intensity levels in which I used to practice, that type of stuff is, it's way beyond me at this level. And maybe when I was younger, I've never been skinny. I've always been thick. I haven't been portly. I've just been solid. That's hopefully where I'm headed towards once again. So, but this rotundness of the obesity, 300 some odd pounds, is that does a job on you guys. It does a job on your organs. It does a job on your heart. It does a job on your joints and other things. And I would say to you guys, you know, my audience more or less is mixed, and I'm glad for that. But you know, because I'm older, you're probably, you know, gravitating more towards some of these things because you're feeling some of this. But I would say to those who are younger than the ages that I am at 58, which in a short time I will be 59, but will still be forever Mastering Fitness 58 because that's where we started. That if you have an opportunity to find things that will work for you, however, whatever, and whoever helps you to get that along, start to do that at an early age. This message is probably for my son who has taken on this journey, guys. You know, he came home to see me about 12 months ago, and he did that a couple of times. You know, he lives away from here, works away from here, lives away from here, and I didn't recognize him. He came home, he was looking like it was gaining on him, and then he came home looking like the Incredible Hulk. The last time I saw him, and I don't know what light bulb switched on to him. I know it's some of the things that I talked to him about, because it's like, you know, your health, man, this is not going to be healthy for you going forward. You don't want to end up being the size of your daddy. You may look like me, but I don't want you to be like me. So I would tell him, you know, hey man, you know, try to do something because you're young. Even though I wasn't following what I was saying, you know, but I knew that was a need be, and so he went back home and he did something about it, you know, and so he dropped all the weight that he had. I think his highest was, I want to say 250, 260, and he's short. He's a little shorter than me, about maybe it's a little bit taller than me. Not much, if he is. But he didn't carry in that weight. That weight was not looking good on him, wasn't feeling good on him. You know, he was I deal with sleep apnea with all this weight, and I'm certain that he had sleep apnea. But his sleeping habits change, you know, when he loses the weight. And the snoring and stuff goes away. It's lessened. So anyway, dropped the pounds, dropped the weight, and now I think he's hovering right at, his weight is around 187, something like that, 180 something. And so I think he, you know, I don't know if he's going to be about 175-ish or what, but yeah, it looks really good, and it looks good on him. So you know, that was motivation for me to try to get my act together and let's get the focus going. And so, you know, that helped. So guys, you know, this has been a talk, guys. I'm gonna probably do more of these based on a seated talking about some of the things that are in my mind. Just this is maybe the start of something. I'm not sure. But if you're watching my videos, guys, and if you made it this far, I appreciate you. So like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification. So thank you for watching.